What's going on, guys? This is Dylan Graives from WrestleRecap, and in this video I'm going to take a look at 20 different stars/teams that could be on the move to improve in the 2024 WWE Draft. Number one on the list is, of course, the Czar of NXT, the current NXT champion, Ilya Dragunov. I've reported already that it seems as though Dragunov is guaranteed a spot on Raw or SmackDown, but at this point there is nothing left for him to do in NXT. I do believe that he should be on the move to bigger and brighter things on either Raw or SmackDown. I personally would like to slot him into SmackDown because that works with another entry on my list here. Number two, we have him, Carmelo Hayes. Another person, there's really nothing left for him to do down in NXT. He's won the NXT championship already. He's basically been halfway to SmackDown for a while already. It only makes sense to move him up. Whether or not he goes to Raw or SmackDown, I don't think it matters. But one thing's for sure in my mind, and that's that Carmelo Hayes is on his way out of NXT. Coming in at number three, the current NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez. I know she just won this title, but with Spring Break-In and that triple threat match on the horizon, I do feel like Roxanne Perez is set for bigger and better things on the main roster. I think her cameo on Monday Night Raw was just like a glimpse to the future, and I do believe that she belongs on either Raw or SmackDown. I also would like to note at this time that I am recording this prior to Spring Break-In, so if she retains her title at Spring Break-In, then I would say that she's probably staying down in NXT. At number four, we've got Baron Corbin. I absolutely believe he should be coming out of NXT and getting back up to SmackDown. He could reunite with his fellow Wolf Dog, Braun Breaker, and these guys could absolutely dethrone A-Town Down Under for those WWE Tag Team Championships, maybe even in France. At number five, I've got the Final Testament. They're kind of already halfway there, but I personally believe that the Final Testament should go back down to NXT. They could be a dominant force in NXT, and with a renewed focus to try and make NXT a third brand, they could use a team like the Final Testament. At number six, we got another tag team, this time the Good Brothers. Again, it seems like they're kind of halfway there. I think the Good Brothers could go down, add some star power to NXT, and also help teach these new up-and-coming stars a thing or two about some tag team wrestling. At number seven, I've got Cameron Grimes. Grimes is a former NXT North American champion, and he was the final $1 million champion. And he has just not done much of anything at all on SmackDown. His last appearance on SmackDown was out of nowhere, where he just got absolutely destroyed by Braun Breaker. I think he could go back down to NXT and easily become an NXT champion and just help elevate the NXT roster as a whole. I don't think that he's got a place on SmackDown or Raw anymore. I definitely feel like he's got to go down in order to move forward. At number eight, I've got Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews hasn't really done much as of late on the main roster, and I think that a trip back down to NXT could revitalize his character and bring him back to the main roster, perhaps this time next year in the draft, with a renewed focus and possibly a better role in the mid-card. At number 9, I've got Cedric Alexander. Another case of once 205 Live was done, not really anything for him. So he's just kind of been hanging around in limbo on the main roster. I think he could go back down to NXT and put something together, maybe form a tag team, and eventually make his way back up to Raw or SmackDown. At number 10, I've got Natalya. I think Natalya is another one that's kind of like halfway there. I don't think that she needs to go down to NXT because there's nothing for her to do. I think that as a veteran, she's maybe looking for a bit of a lighter travel schedule and putting her down in NXT would give her a fairly constant schedule being at the Performance Center. She's also kind of halfway there. She's been on NXT a couple times now. She's about to face Lola Vice in NXT Underground at Spring Break-In. It just makes sense to me for Natalya to go down and help elevate that women's division to kind of give it a renewed focus on helping make NXT a third brand. At number 11, I've got the D'Angelo family. Now, there's been rumors that the family is set to move up to SmackDown. Personally, I would love this. I made a comment on the SmackDown review, which just went live as I'm recording this, and I think the family could very well come up and kind of serve as like Nick Aldi's, enforcers. Like when he's got a problem with someone, he has the family take care of it. Specifically, A-Town Down Under, and they're unwilling to shake Triple H's hand. Maybe that's our first rivalry for him. They move up to SmackDown, and SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis sends them after A-Town Down Under. At number 12, I've got Dexter Lumis. Lumis really hasn't done anything since the At number 12, I've got Dexter Lumis. Lumis really hasn't done anything on the main roster since his ordeal with The Miz ended. And I've also expressed this opinion before, though I'm not sure that it made the final cut of an episode. But the Dexter Lumis character, to me, just isn't made for the main roster. It's made for NXT, where it can sort of thrive better. So I think a move back down to NXT could work wonders for Dexter Lumis. At 13, I've got Ashante Adonis. Since Hit Row came to an end, haven't really seen much of him. B-Fab is rolling with the Pride now. So I just think it makes all the sense in the world to send Adonis back down to NXT. Maybe he can join up with OTM. I don't know, just spitballing here. But I definitely think that he should be heading back to NXT to develop a little bit more before coming back with maybe even a whole new persona. Who knows? All right, moving away from people moving up or down, so to speak. At number 14, we've got Jimmy Uso. I think the seed has been planted for Jimmy Uso to move over to Raw from SmackDown to reunite with his brother Jay Uso. This will eventually play into a Bloodline Civil War, and that also plays into another person that's later on this list. At number 15, we've got Braun Strowman. I think Strowman needs to head over to SmackDown because the Wyatt Six is coming, and I definitely think that he's going to be a part of it. And I think that they're going to be on Friday Night SmackDown. At number 16, I've got Dirty Dom. I think Dirty Dom needs to head over to SmackDown and just finally join up with Legado del Fantasma so that he can go face-to-face with his dad in the LWO, and LDF can just come out on top. Maybe we have Dominic retire Rey Mysterio at Mania 41. Who knows? But I definitely feel like Dirty Dom's got to just head over to SmackDown. The Judgment Day is basically done, especially now that Rhea's gone. We're going to have the power struggle between Finn and Damian Priest. That's going to lead to them having a match over the title. And unfortunately, I don't see my guy Finn Balor winning. But what I do see is the end of the Judgment Day. At number 17, I've got L.A. Knight. Yeah, heading over to Raw. I think Raw needs some extra star power now that Cody Rhodes has headed to SmackDown. And I think L.A. Knight is just the guy to bring that heat. At 18, got another guy with some star power. The KO Show, Kevin Owens. I do know that he is currently in a fight, or in a feud, rather, with the Bloodline, as it seems. So this one was just kind of off the wall, dart throw. I think Kevin Owens could go to Raw, and that would give him a shot to potentially be a future World Heavyweight Champion. I also feel like he could reunite with Sammy on Raw, and they could go after the tag titles. I just think putting Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn on the same brand is the way to go, but I don't see Sami Zayn moving over to SmackDown. Coming in at number 19, the Tribal Chief himself. Well, I guess in my opinion, the former Tribal Chief himself, Roman Reigns. I do believe that when he returns, he does so. He'll probably return on SmackDown, but I think he's going to end up on the Raw brand to reunite with Jimmy and Jay, and they will be the good guys in the Bloodline Civil War. And I believe that they will be taking on the bad guys in the Bloodline Civil War, that being The Rock, who will now be the Tribal Chief, and I believe he is the one pulling the strings. And The Rock will be leading Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Wrapping up this list at number 20, I've got Imperium heading to SmackDown. I did make this list ahead of Raw tonight, and Raw has just concluded at the time of this recording, so I know that Giovanni Vinci is no longer a part of Imperium, at least that is what it seems to be. But I do believe that Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser could be headed to SmackDown to set up Gunther to dethrone the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes for his undisputed WWE Championship at the Bash in Berlin. That concludes this list of 20 stars / teams that could be on the move to improve in the WWE 2024 draft. I've been Dylan Graives. If you enjoyed this list, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. If there's anybody that you think is on the move that I didn't include, if I included someone that you think I'm just completely wrong, you can let me know that too. But as always, until next time, we'll see you later.